What's up, guys? All right, so I'm out here today in my backyard. As you can see, my kayak's right here. I'm actually gonna mount my Anchor Trolly on in this video today. And I'm also gonna go over the modifications that I've already done to my kayak. And if you have any tips for me, like what else I should do to my kayak, put a comment down below and I will read them, and hopefully they'll be pretty useful because I want to do a few more things to this kayak. But so the first thing I did with this kayak was I raised the seat up with these bars right here. So it was sitting really down deep in there, and if water would come up through the scupper holes, the whole seat would get wet and I'd be sitting on water the entire time. Then the second thing I did, which was more recently, was I mounted this rod holder right here. Now this is very customizable, as in like you can tilt it up, down, you can spin it any direction that you want it to be mounted. But the reason I really like it is because it can hold any rod. So for a spinning rod, it's got this right here. For a bait caster, obviously you just slide it in, open that, rod sits right, or the reel sits right there. And then what really made me happy about it is that it can hold a fly rod the same way it holds a bait caster. Flip this open, put the fly rod in right there. The reel is going to be sitting right here. Then you just flip it back over, lock it in, and you're good to go. But yeah, so today I'm going to be mounting my Anchor Trolly, and a lot of people don't really know what side they're supposed to mount it on. But I went to a kayak seminar and everyone there was telling me the way, or the side to mount it on, should be your non-dominant hand side, so that way you can still hold your rod in your right hand, or if you're left-handed, left hand, and then mess with your anchor on the other side. So I'm gonna be mounting it on the left side of my kayak right here. But yeah, let's see how well it goes. All right, guys, the first thing that I'm gonna do is measure 12 inches from the front of my kayak over and mark that, but also 3 inches down from my kayak, because you want the pulley. There's gonna be two pulleys, on one pulley on both sides. You're gonna want the actual wheel part of it to be facing towards the actual middle of the kayak. And I'm gonna mark a hole right, or mark a dot right here where the front hole is gonna be. And I'm gonna do that on the back side too. Just to double check my mark. 12 inches. Yep. And then 3 inches. Yep. So that's good for that one. I'm gonna go do the back and do the same thing. Alright, so I've got both of these marked. So the pulley on the front is gonna be faced like that, so the string will come through here and I can go back and forth. And on the back it's gonna be the exact opposite. Alright guys, the next thing I'm gonna do, I have a 3/8 inch drill bit. So I'm gonna drill in my kayak, which is kind of scary, but I'm also gonna be, putting silicone on it to keep it waterproof even after I get everything done. But I'm gonna be drilling into the marks that I just made, so I can put the screw, or the well nut, sorry, I couldn't remember the word, in there, so I can mount the pulley onto each of those. And yeah, so hopefully it doesn't go wrong. Now these are what I'm going to be putting inside of those holes. I'm going to be putting it in this so putting in the hole like that, so that catches on the outside. These are rubber, so that'll also help it kind of seal, but I'm still going to cover it with silicone. And then I'm going to put the pulley on this and put the screw through there. I'm going to have to do that twice for each pulley. Looks good. All right, so I just want to show you guys what exactly I was doing. So as you can see, this is the well nut that I just put into there. It's actually pretty sealed, but it's also kind of worrying putting a hole in your kayak, but I know that this is gonna be fine because I'm gonna seal it either way. But I did that on both sides. Had to go right through my sticker, but it's fine. It still looks fine, okay? It's fine. You can see this is right here. So I'm gonna be mounting this just like this. The screw's going in right here, but I don't want to tighten it all the way yet because I still want to keep it loose enough that I can rotate the pulley, because I still have to screw another hole right there. So I'm just going to be tightening this very loosely with a screwdriver, not with a power drill. Alright, that should be good. Perfect. Alright, moving on to the next one. Doing the same thing on the one on this side. Alright guys, so for this one, I'm going to be doing the same exact thing that I did last time. I'm going to be marking the spot where the hole is going to be. That can't fit all the way down there, can it? It's the only reason I'm going to do this is because I can see where the sticker is through the hole, so I can actually mark it pretty easily. And I'm going to move that out of the way. I'm going to use the 3/8 inch drill bit again to drill another hole. Just to make sure. Yep, that's right. This part you really got to get perfect. Beautiful. Push it in there. Squeeze it, turn it a little bit. There it goes. Beautiful. Now I can fully tighten it. I'm gonna be going back and forth between these so I don't make it crossed at all. But now I am going to be tightening it as much as I can. And now you can put silicone around this, which I'm probably going to do just for safety, but as long as the rubber and the screw is completely tightened, the rubber well nut should create a waterproof seal around it, because it's squeezing the rubber up against the plastic and there's nothing really going to get under that. But just to be safe, I will put a little bit of silicone around it. Well guys, they did not give me 4 walnuts like they were supposed to give me in the package, so I'm either gonna have to figure something out or I'm gonna have to go find another walnut somewhere. But yeah, I keep everything organized. So when I emptied the stuff out, I just put that stuff back in there. This was the packet that I was using, so I dumped everything into here, used everything except for the one screw, which is right here, because I just took that out of my pocket. It's the only reason it's in a different spot. But they only gave me 3 walnuts. I remember opening the package and there being only 3. So I figured maybe one of them was gonna swivel, but that's not how it's supposed to happen. So I thought about it. Maybe it could swivel, but I feel like that would break the waterproof seal if I kept it like that. But if I tightened it enough, maybe it would just suck it on there. But the safest thing to do would obviously wait, get another screw or get another well nut and fix it. But I don't know how long that would take me or where I would even find a rubber walnut like that without ordering it online. But yeah, so I'm gonna figure that out real quick and then I'll get back to you guys. Alright guys, so I have a fix for it. So what I'm gonna do is I went and got this little rubber washer from the shed, and instead of drilling a 3/16 or 3/8 hole right there, I'm gonna be drilling a smaller hole that fits just the size of the screw, and I'm gonna be putting this on the opposite side of the anchor trolley and screwing it into that, and it should have the same waterproofing effect as if I'd used the walnut. Alright guys, so I'm gonna start smaller than the screw with a 5/32 drill bit. And since it is such a small screw or drill, I am able to fit it straight through, so I don't have to mark it. Let's see if that fits. Screwdriver. You always want to start smaller, just in case, because if that fits, then perfect, it fits. If I would have went bigger, it would have been too big. So it's a good thing that I went small. Oops, drop the screw. So what I'm going to do is put that through, but also try to get this through on the other side. I'm putting the screw through and then putting the screw through the washer, the rubber washer that I got. And now I can tighten both. Work just as well, but what I'm also going to do is put silicone around both sides. I'll probably do that after I do the rest of the trolley, but yeah, let's move on. The next thing is to install the pad eyes. The pad eyes are just going to hold the line connecting the two pulley systems, but I'm going to mount these like we're going to divide the kayak into thirds between the pulleys, and these are going to be separating the two, so it should be a third, and a third, if that makes sense. So I'm going to be mounting one about right here, another one about right here. I'm going to measure that out and mark spots, and then I'm going to be drilling with an eighth inch drill bit through these and then putting in the screws. Alright guys, so I got both of them marked. Front one is right here, back one is right here. As you can see, that should be just about 2/3 or a third on each thing. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these, put these right here, and let's get started. So the way I have it marked, the center of it should be right on the horizontal line that I have marked. So I'm going to put that in the center, and I'm only going to drill one before I put the screw in. Alright, now let me go get the screw for this one. So I got the first screw. Again, I'm not going to screw it in all the way till I get it set up right. These are self-tapping screws, so you do not need to use silicone on these. And make sure that's upright. I'm going to take my drill again and screw the top hole. Take another screwdriver, same thing. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side, and then we're going to get started on the line. Alright, so the last thing that we're going to have to drill into our kayak is called the pad eye. The pad eye is basically what's going to hold your anchor in place, but you should really just have it in a spot where it's easy for you to reach. It doesn't have to be any specific spot or anything like that. It just needs to be in a spot that you can reach easily when you're sitting down and fishing or doing whatever you really are in your kayak. But so for mine, I'm probably going to place it right here, right in front of my seat, and also right in front of my sticker and my logo. But those are the pad eyes, or sorry, those are the, I actually forgot the name, but I'm going to put this right here, and as you can see where it is, it's basically the same thing as this. It's just hold your anchor in place. Just make sure it's easy for you to reach, and yeah, let's get it started. So I'm going to be putting this right here. I'm going to be drilling an 1/8 ounce, sorry, talking about fishing again. I'm going to be drilling a 1/8 inch drill bit into here, just like I was with those. And I'm only going to do one at a time before I get the screw in. Just like that. Now let's get the screwdriver. One more hole. All right, so that's installed. Now we're gonna get started on the strings. All right guys, here comes the easy part. All I'm gonna do is, after I get this untangled, pull up. All I'm doing now is threading it through everything. All right, boom, done. All right, no, not really. So next, I'm just gonna get my triangle. This is what's really gonna be holding your anchor. And I'm I'm going to get this and tie it to this with just a fishing knot. We all know that one fishing knot that we were taught when we were like 7 or 8 years old. Honestly, I lost count of how many times I went through this. That's how I usually do it. Pull it tight. That's one. Now we're going to do it to the other side too. We're going to want it about right there. If you ever need longer line, or maybe you cut your line too short, you can always buy more. Buy it at Walmart. It's just paracord. And that's 5. They actually counted that time. And boom. So it's going to be hanging like that. If I wanted to be positioned like this, like that. If I want my boat to face upstream, anchor's going to be like that. And if I want my boat positioned downstream, it's going to be like that. Pretend that the cord that I'm holding is the actual anchor, and I think you can see what I'm talking about. And if you want it, once you get it into the spot that you want it to stay, all you're going to do is take this and wrap it around this, just like that, and then you're not going to be able to move this at all. That's it. Alright guys, so what I did, instead of taking this line, it would have connected all the way up there, and they wanted to connect that, but I feel like that would interfere with the trolley system. So what I did was cut it to a good length. It's not actually as tight as it looks. I just put on that for storage purposes. It's actually pretty loose, but you want it loose just in case the line shrinks, or if it expands, it shrinks, you'll always be fine. There is a nick in my line, which it came with that, but it is paracord, so I assume it would be fine. But the next thing that I'm going to do is just take my anchor, my line, I'm going to tie this to a carabiner, and the anchor's on the other end, and I'm going to connect it to that. Really, you can just tie this straight to that, but I want to be able to take the anchor on and off if I really need to, and that's all you need to do. If you need to keep your anchor shorter, just retie it to the carabiner, and you're fine. So I found a carabiner, tied it onto there. Just use a knot that you know is strong, and it's not going to come undone, but if you needed to untie it, you are able to untie it. I pulled this as hard as I could, put it under my shoe, and nothing even budged. So I put about 10 feet of the anchor on there, so I'll have plenty of anchor. If I really need to shorten it, I can always shorten it by untying that and making it shorter. It's not that hard, but if I need to do it, I can do it. But yeah, so that's all done. Let me know what else I should do to my kayak. I think in the next modification that I'm doing in my kayak is I'm going to put a drawer under here. I'll make a drawer slide out and slide under, so I can just throw trash and whatever I'm using into there, so I don't have to always just bring stuff back out. But if you like the video, comment and subscribe, and if you like stuff like this, let me know and I'll keep doing videos like that. But yeah, I'll see you next time, hopefully out on the lake or river.